Hello and welcome. How are you? Today we are talking about, sorry this is wobbling about, we're talking about, do you need to focus on one product, one service for your clients right now? And this video is part of the Which Creative Entrepreneur Are You quiz trainings. And this free quiz is designed to help you to identify what are the best next steps for you so that you can eliminate confusion and overwhelm. Now I'll be able to pop the link into the comments so you can go and take that quiz for free, and you can get to focus on what you need to do and ditch everything else. Okay, so I think that's always a good thing to be able to do. So join me as I explain what the second step is for dreamers. So we have dreamers, workers, builders and leaders, at the moment we're focusing on dreamers, and then I'll be moving on to workers, etc. We're doing a live video for each step and each mindset shift that each one needs to make. So we've got the free quiz in the comments there for you to go and take that yourself. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Una Doyle. I'm the founder of Creative Flow TV, and I'm a business coach and strategist, and I specialize in working with creative service providers. You know, people like graphic and web designers, photographers, videographers, all kinds of creatives, animation, a few animation clients at the moment, PR and consultancy, digital consultancy. So anything to do with giving creative services. So it's usually business to business, and there's a lot of challenges right now, a lot of competition, a lot of people trying to push down prices. And what I help them to do is to confidently and profitably stand out from the crowd and be able to do creative work that fills their heart with pride. All without selling their soul. And I think that's really important because nobody wants to do that, right? Now, I'm also the host of the brand new Facebook group, the Courageous, yes, let me start that again. I'm the new host of my brand new group, the Courageous Creatives Community. You try saying that really fast. It's a bit of a tongue twister, actually. So, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that you're at the beginning of a corridor. You know, like those long corridors that you get in hotels, and it's going on for miles and miles. And there's doors on either side of it, but you're at the beginning. So, you know, at the beginning of the corridor, you don't know what is behind door number 5 or door number 10 or door number 17. However, quite often when people are putting their business together, they act as if they know all those things, and they're trying to build a whole massive complete business without actually really having sold very much or really gotten to know their customers and really how to make the business work. So if you're challenged by this step, the chances are you're probably doing too much. You might be spreading your resources too thin, and perhaps you're spending a lot of time on not actually selling. And the reason is that because either what you're putting out there is kind of not quite right. The positioning of it or the structure of what you're doing is not quite what people want, or even though they might need it, it might not be in their minds the way that they want it. Or you're simply just not getting in front of people because you think, well, I have to get all my ducks in a row. Okay, I have to have all this stuff perfect before I can go anywhere else. And yet the sales aren't happening fast enough, and there's too much to do in getting your business off the ground. So, and quite often people feel, well, I have to have all the website, I have to have all the services and everything laid out, before I can sell, in order for me to actually have a proper business. But actually what you really need for a proper business is clients. So what they do in the software world is they talk about minimum viable product, and this is what I want you to adapt for your creative services business. So if you are in the dreamer level, then you're probably not yet making a full-time income, and you could be in like proper startups phase where you're in another job or you have another part-time job or something. And what I want you to be to understand is that by focusing in on, well, what is the kind of smallest thing that you can sell that people want, that makes a difference to them, that they're going to be willing to pay value for? And just because I say small, it doesn't mean cheap, by the way. It just means that it's something, rather than trying to have a whole product suite, you go, well, let's start with this and see what do people need, and then I can build upon that, responding to what customers are asking me for, or in response to what I see they need, and I can then talk to them about. So that's what you need to do, and this step is all about getting to proof of concept. And let me just tell you what the definition of that is, by the way. It's where you have evidence, typically deriving from an experiment or pilot project, which demonstrates that a design concept, business proposal, etc. is feasible. And really the proof of that is not people saying they would buy, it's them actually buying. So if people, like for instance with me, my Creative Success Code program that I do, it's a done with you coaching program, all about how to put in place your client attraction and conversion engine. And when I switched from the kind of coaching I was doing before to this, I didn't go, okay, when I had my first 3 clients from that, I was like, okay, great, yes, I got proof of concept now. And I could really then focus everything on that. And this is what I want for you, because then it just makes life so much easier when you do this. Because quite often, I think what's really going on is that we have this lizard brain resistance. We are procrastinating overselling because of fear of rejection or fear of failure or being judged. But the thing is, if you don't have paying customers, you actually don't have business. You're kidding yourself. And I think the biggest problem that I see with creative services companies at this stage is that they are just not doing enough marketing and sales activity. So what you need to be doing instead is get clear, what is your minimum viable service, and who is going to get most value from that you would be passionate about serving, and go and talk to as many of them as you can to get new clients. And listen to the feedback. Okay, don't take any no's as, oh my god, it's all a failure, I'm just going to give up. It's not about that. It's about going, okay, so what would work? What is it that you need? What is your biggest challenge right now? In what way could this kind of thing help you? And by having those kinds of conversations with people, then you're going to be able to, work on something and tweak it to make it really work in that way, so that they do buy. And even if it isn't them, it'll be the next person that you're talking to. Okay, so make sure as well that what you're doing is aligned with your natural strengths to help you be in flow, creative flow. And I have other videos on my page and blog which talk about how to do that. So get rid of all distractions, focus on your minimum viable service, and just ditch everything else and just totally focus on those sales producing activities. Look at your to-do list or your task management system, or whatever way it is that you know what it is that you need to do, and look at it. And if there is anything on there, if you're not doing sales producing activities and you're not delivering to clients, you ought not to be doing it at this point. Okay. All right, so thank you so much for watching this. And if you enjoyed it, this free content, I want you to know I go into these kinds of things in way more detail, obviously with my paid clients, but also in my brand new Facebook group, the Courageous Creatives Community. So I'm really excited about that. The link is in the comments, so that you can come and join us in that as well. And if you haven't already, click the other link in the comments to go and take the quiz. Now, I'm going to be doing step 3 for dreamers tomorrow at the same time, so I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.